Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is June 8th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters, located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland, has ordered the United States Department of Justice to issue a multi-count indictment of U.S. President Donald J. Trump for high crimes and misdemeanors related to the Epstein files and/or its ongoing cover-up, Jeffrey Epstein and or the numerous deaths accompanying him, the Epstein sex trafficking ring run by the Israeli Mossad, sex crimes against underage Jane Does, and or violating U.S. Code 18, imprison of a felony, which is basically that you witness a felony being committed or you know about one and you fail to inform the proper authorities. Just for the record, Jean-Luc Brunel, a Frenchman, was also suicided in his jail cell after Jeffrey Epstein. And most recently, Virginia Giuffre, one of the alleged victims of Jeffrey Epstein, was also suicided in Australia. The ongoing cover-up of the Jeffrey Epstein files is obviously multifaceted. The reason why it's currently ongoing, as I've stated for the record a million times, the Jeffrey Epstein scandal will never go away until Donald J. Trump is essentially arrested, impeached, assassinated, or suicided in relation to this files. That's what it's there for. That's why they exposed all these celebrities, all these politicians, is just to get Donald J. Trump out of office. And one of the most recent angles to this heinous plot by Switzerland to unseat a sitting U.S. president is the notion that Donald J. Trump is taking bribes via under the cover of his ballroom and the triumphant arch, Victory Arch in Washington, D.C., to basically not prosecute these individuals, anyone from Prince Andrew to Jay-Z, to all these different celebrities, politicians, billionaires, and celebrities, athletes that are named personally in the Epstein files. So exactly which angle they're going to try to execute on the day of June 9th of 2026 is obviously not known, but the aforementioned DOJ indictment of Donald J. Trump will predictably result in an FBI raid targeting Donald J. Trump, either at Trump National Golf Course, Bedminster, or the White House in Washington, D.C., where he will either be at one of the other locations. So really quick, just to highlight the numerology, the date of June 9th marks exactly 34 days since Howard Lutnick, Donald J. Trump's choice for the Secretary of the Treasury for the United States government, was forced to testify before the House Oversight Committee in respect to the ongoing Epstein files. And it is during this meeting, which was off the record, by the way, and the one prior to it on February 10th of 2026, where the smoking gun, I believe, is going to come in this particular case. Lutnick was neighbors with Epstein in New York City. And he is intimately tied to both Epstein and Epstein Island, and has repeatedly taken flights there and has vacationed there with his family. So if there's anybody that has inside knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein and Donald J. Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, it would be Howard Lutnick. This is the guy that decided not to go to work on 9/11 and allowed all of his entire firm to be blown up in the attack. This guy is probably a dual citizen, but he is in fact a Zionist. So the notion that he would betray Trump and stab him in the back and then bear false witness against him it's expected at this point. Coincidentally, the date of June 9th marks exactly 119 days since he first gave his testimony to the House Oversight Committee in Washington, D.C. And of course, the number 119 is 19 and 19. That's SS. That's the top secret name of CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva is SS or ISIS. That is why the CIA, the precursor to the CIA, was called the OSS, the Office of Strategic Service in the United States, prior to the formation of the CIA that we know today. Secondly, I just want to highlight the date of June 9th because this is the 69 numerology. This is found in the nuclear attacks of Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 6th and August 9th of 1945. And of course, it's the sexual position of 69, but it's also because 6 equals F and I equals 9, or 9 equals I. So this is Phi. This is because the number 9 equates to letter I, which also doubles as a 1. This is 61 or 16, which is found in the reflected in the logo of the CIA, which has a 16-pointed star. So if you follow me, you have 6, and then 9 equals I, and I equals also 1. This is 61 or 16, which is found in the logo of the CIA. Also, the date of June 9th is the 160th day of the year, so we have the number 16 again, which is found again reflected in the 16-pointed star of the CIA. It also marks exactly 218 days since the first trove of the so-called Epstein files was released back on November 3rd of 2025, and this number 218 or 228 is reflected in the FBI raid targeting Donald J. Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate back on August 8th, 8/8 of 2022. Also, the date of June 9th marks exactly 505 days since Donald J. Trump became president of the United States back on January 20th of 2025. And of course, the number 5 doubles as the letter S. So this is SOS or SS, which is the top secret name of the CIA's headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva is SS or ISIS. Lastly, the date of June 9th marks 4,154 days since Gawker magazine published the report entitled "Here is Pedophile Billionaire Jeffrey Epstein's Little Black Book" back on January 24th of 2015. Obviously, this number has the number 41 and 14. This is found in the motto of Switzerland, all for one, one for all. And it also has the 44 numerology, which is DD as in dead and died, because this impending arrest of Donald J. Trump is going to kill him. So I just want to state for the record that if Donald J. Trump is arrested for crimes related to the Epstein files, whether it be for murder or for imprisonment of a felony, or it be for extortion or bribery, or blackmail or racketeering or whatever, for sex crimes, for kidnapping, sex trafficking, whatever it is, he will never ever face the courtroom or jurors in this particular case because the charges against him are fraudulent. As I've stated ad nauseum, the Biden administration had 4 years to do due diligence in this particular case and to investigate Trump. And if they had any hard evidence, real evidence against Donald J. Trump that he was in fact guilty of sex crimes or covering up a pedophile sex ring, then he would have been prosecuted. But what they plan to do is a multifaceted assault on the president, which I'm going to get into right now. So I believe that it would play out like this, that the DOJ would get an email, a phone call, or some sort of signal from CIA headquarters in Geneva to go ahead and indict Donald J. Trump for sex crimes or crimes related to the Epstein files. And then after Trump is arrested, within like 72 hours, 48, 72, maybe 100 hours, within a very short window, likely less than a week, we would find out in rapid fashion exactly what the indictment was about, and then before it could ever be before the dust settles, and before the waters clear, Trump will be murdered in some form or fashion. He will likely be suicided. That's the most likely scenario, under the guise of shame, fear, or what have you, um, or guilt. He suffers some sort of medical related event. He attacks law enforcement or security personnel in the holding facility, or he dies of natural causes, or he gets attacked by an inmate. One of these scenarios will predictably happen. But in this window between when Trump is arrested by the FBI and when he is murdered, they are going to throw every single thing that they can at the public to try to convince them of his guilt. And this is including but not limited to witnesses. They're going to parade anywhere from 10 to 30 women that were previously underage at the time when Trump was associated with Jeffrey Epstein, and they're going to make the rounds, the circuit, talk show circuits, the late night television shows, the morning talk shows, the evening news, the podcast circuit, and they are going to basically all be chirping the same story. That Donald J. Trump sodomized them, raped them against their will, and using forceful tactics. There's already been a woman that claimed that Donald J. Trump forced her to give him oral sex, and she subsequently bit his penis. So this is going to be really grotesque, and it's going to be very heinous, and that's what they're planning on doing. So they're going to assassinate the character of Donald J. Trump with roughly anywhere from 10 to 30 witnesses, and they're all going to be hot chicks. They're all going to be in their 30s, 40s, and they're all going to claim that they were underage at the time that this happened. Then they're going to present, along with these women, DNA evidence, and this is going to be along the lines of the Clinton dress, where they have undisputable DNA evidence of Donald J. Trump's semen, saliva, blood, urine, feces on some sort of article of clothing or some sort of artifact that has been subsequently DNA tested and proven to be linked to the president. Thirdly, they're going to release all sorts of videos and photos, possibly also the redacted version, an unredacted version of the redacted version of the Epstein files, if that makes sense. So the redacted version of the Epstein files is all the black boxes over the names and faces and emails of people that the government doesn't want you to know are guilty for whatever reason, and then they'll release or remove the black boxes and release the next version, which is basically going to have Trump's name and face all over it. Along with this, they're going to release numerous videos, AI and deepfake videos of Trump sexually assaulting and raping underage women. They're also going to release audio recordings and phone calls of Trump admitting guilt and admitting to, it's likely going to be him talking with Epstein or other people, joking about raping, similar to the interview with Billy Bush where he said grab him by the pussy. So there's basically going to be locker room talk, and he's basically in these AI deepfake audio phone calls or videos. Trump is basically going to be admitting guilt. They're also going to release social media posts, likely Twitter direct messages, DMs, where Trump is photographed with underage women, likely sending pictures of his genitalia or having pictures of underage women, nude women to him via Twitter. And it's likely, because Trump doesn't have an email and he doesn't deal with computers, it's going to be with one of Trump's former associates. So it's likely going to be one of the women that assisted him in his first administration. She's likely going to bear false witness against Trump and likely claim that she received all these messages on behalf of him and his Twitter. They're also going to produce a hard drive or a laptop in the same kind of line as the Hunter Biden laptop, which was a treasure trove of all these pictures of drugs and sex and women, and that's basically what they're going to release with Trump. And this will they'll likely claim that they found it upon the FBI's search and ongoing investigation at the Zorro Ranch in New Mexico, which was previously owned by Jeffrey Epstein. They're also going to produce numerous sworn affidavits from Trump loyalists uh, that have been paid off to betray him, and likely one or more members of Trump's own cabinet. Possibly Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General, Kristi Noem, the former Department of Homeland Security Secretary, and or Howard Lutnick, who I previously mentioned, testified before the House Oversight Committee. And this will basically be the dagger in Trump's back, and they'll likely claim that Trump admitted guilt to them, and that's why he was covering it up, or that they were um, forced to stay silent about it, or something to that effect. So that's basically what they're planning on doing, and this is going to be a full-scale assault on the president and his reputation. And then, of course, he will be murdered in some ancient esoteric and ritualistic Jewish blood sacrifice while he's incarcerated. They'll likely take him to a black site or to a hospital, where he will likely be raped repeatedly and likely tortured, possibly for days, weeks, months. And they might even kill him in the public, say that he died, but he's really kept alive at a black site. The CIA is so heinous that this is not beyond them, and he has pissed them off beyond all recognition. That's the wrong word. Beyond all, um, he has defied them on so many occasions that they are absolutely just today, I mean, yesterday, he basically told Netanyahu again to stand down against Iran, and so he's going directly against the Zionist agenda, even though a lot of people don't understand what the game that's being played. But he's basically countering Netanyahu, and so they're out for blood, and they plan to frame him. And this is Switzerland working with the Mossad in Washington D.C. to frame a sitting U.S. president. So obviously, if this happens, obviously know that it was planned. I should say in closing that there's also the slight possibility that Donald J. Trump would be indicted and then subsequently impeached by the U.S. House and the U.S. Senate, likely in a top secret trial that's overseen by Chief Justice John Roberts of the United States Supreme Court. So they could indict Trump but not arrest him, and then they could impeach him for these crimes against underage women, or for covering up the Epstein files, or for failure to, for violation of 18 U.S. Code 4, misprision of a felony, or whatever they choose. But that is, I believe, a last resort, because that would actually give Trump time to mount a legal defense, and this would become an entire drama in Washington, D.C. But they have enough Republicans that hate Trump, secretly hate Trump, even though they kiss his ass face to face, that would vote for impeachment. So that is, I believe, also an option that they would likely attempt to execute if they can't arrest Trump for crimes related to the Epstein files. So anyways, if Trump is impeached, arrested, or eventually suicided after arrest for crimes related to the Epstein files on the date of June 9th or any date in the future, obviously know that it was CIA headquarters that is plotting the removal of a sitting U.S. president. We always hear about Russian interference, but we never hear about Swiss interference, because they're the actual mastermind behind, they're the master puppeteer that's moving the puppets around. So obviously, if this happens, know that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva is ultimately responsible. And so if this comes to fruition in reality, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.